What's good? It's your boy, the chosen one, back at it. And I'm getting ready to reveal to you guys the situation and the cover up regarding Antarctica and just the whole history of basically what I consider the most top secret information in the world. If you listen to this whole lecture, I promise to you that your life may be changed, because this is definitely going to be a good one. So just stay tuned and listen very, very carefully, okay? 13,000 years ago, the pyramids of Giza were built with the Sphinx, okay? That's the official carbon date of the pyramids. 3 different groups of scientists from 3 different universities found large traces of water erosion on the Sphinx and the pyramids. Mainstream science calls these researchers crazy. Okay, the question everyone is asking is, how could these structures have water erosion in the world's largest desert? Okay, pollen particles taken out of the pyramids were carbon dated to be the same age as the pyramids and came from tropical plants. Okay, from all the forensic evidence from 3 different researchers, the Egyptian pyramids were once surrounded by tropical rainforests. Okay, this is the forensic evidence proving this. But what could cause such a dramatic change in northern Africa's climate like that? 2 words for you: pole shift. Okay, a pole shift. Okay, and I'm gonna prove it. According to the walls inside the temples near the pyramids, the North Star during the time the pyramids were built was called Thuban. When the pyramids of Giza were built, the North Star that pointed to magnetic north on the planet was called Thuban. Thuban, Thuban, Thuban. And let's see. Okay, now if you look at Thubis in the sky, Thuban. If you look at Thuban in the sky, Thuban is a star that is located in the Draco, in the Draconian star system. Go look it up. Okay, it's not near the North Pole and it's not near the South Pole. So when you look at Thuban in the sky, Thuban is more pointed towards the equator. It's not towards the north and it's not towards the south. It's directly in the middle, inside the Draco star constellation, near the equator, directly across from the equator. Okay? So for a star that used to be our North Star, Thuban, okay, for a star that used to be our North Star to now be located at the equator, this simply means that the Earth's axis shifted and caused a major natural catastrophes and climate change on this planet. Okay, go research and go look up the star Thuban, Thuban. It used to be the Earth's North Star over 13,000 years ago, and after the pole shift 13,000 years ago, the Earth had a major tilt. And so Africa, instead of Northern Africa being at the top of the world, Northern Africa is now towards the center of the world. Okay? Because Central Africa is at the equator line. So the pyramids in Egypt went from being magnetic north. The pyramids in Egypt were magnetic north. Okay? Now, the pyramids in Egypt are south of magnetic north. And the new magnetic north star is now Polaris. Okay? This happened 13,000 years ago. Please do your research, because if you learn how to read Medu Neter and you learn how to read hieroglyphics properly and you do the proper research, you will find this information to be 100% correct. Okay? This is very mind-blowing. This is very mind-boggling information. Okay. So yeah, go look up Thuban. It's a star in the Draco star constellation, and it used to be our magnetic north star. Basically, the pyramids of Giza were built over 13,000 years ago. After the pole shift 13,000 years ago, magnetic north star Polaris became our magnetic star, and Thuban became a star that was seen at the equator because the Earth tilted. The Earth tilted. Okay, and I'm under the belief now that Nibiru's magnetic field, when it came past the Earth and the Earth and Mars, when it came past Earth and Mars, its magnetism caused Earth to shift its axis, which caused major catastrophes on the planet and climate change on the planet. Okay, that is the most logical and reasonable explanation. Let's see. Okay, so that about sums up, what happened to Egypt. Egypt, do your research. Egypt and all of northern Africa, the Saharan desert, used to be a tropical rainforest. Most of the places on this planet before the pole shift were the opposite climate of what they are now. I'm in Las Vegas right now. So Las Vegas is a giant valley. It's a giant bowl. Okay? It's a part of something called Death Valley. Go look it up. And the valley used to be a bowl full of water. Full of water. Now it's nothing but a dried up, useless desert. Research shows that areas of Mexico and Central America used to be dried up desert. Areas of the Congo, okay, of the southern Congo, when you go towards Tanzania, okay, show signs of it used to be a desert, of it being a desert. Okay, go look this up, because like I said, when the pole shift happens, climates change dramatically, and I would say rainforests would become dried out, wouldn't get much rain, and would be turned into deserts, and deserts would be forced to change into tropical climates, and ice caps would be melted, which would form water, which would cause certain land masses to be sunk under, large portions of water. Okay? So we're gonna get into this Antarctica subject. Okay? In the past year, the blood moons have caused people to go back to caveman state. The blood moons of 2015 have caused people to go back to caveman consciousness and believe that the Earth has only one magnetic pole. And this is really sad, people, because every battery that produces energy has a positive pole and a negative pole. Okay? And the Earth has its own electromagnetic field. So how can the Earth produce an electromagnetic field with both positive and negative charges, okay, if there's only one magnetic pole? Like I said, when I put a battery inside of an object, the object is going to have a pole to match the positive polarity and the negative polarity to create the electromagnetic charge. So if Earth is a living object, like all spiritually aware people know that Earth is a living object, how in the hell can Earth only have one magnetic pole? Like I said, every single object that I know of that produces electromagnetism has not only a positive pole, but has a negative pole as well. And I'm going to go ahead and prove this. Every human on the planet has positively charged chakras and negatively charged chakras, because there's a group of 6 zodiac signs that are positively charged, and there's a group of 7 zodiac signs that are negatively charged, which means that 6 of our chakra points are positively charged, and 7 of our chakra points are negatively charged. You are a walking, talking battery. We are the Earth. The Earth is a giant battery with its own magnetic field. So how can you have your own magnetic field with only one goddamn polarity charge? I'll wait. But certain people fell back into caveman consciousness during the blood moons of 2015. And now they think that the Earth has only one magnetic charge, one magnetic polarity. Very sad, people. Very sad. Very sad. Like I said, I'm not even going to get into that subject, because that subject has been debunked a long time ago. So, like I was saying, the Earth produces a positive and a negative charge to each of its poles. Okay? That means the North Pole has its charge and the South Pole has its charge. Okay? And this creates the electromagnetic field around the Earth. Antarctica is at the bottom of the Earth. And when you're at the bottom of a planet, you're going to experience freezing weather because you're not getting any form of sunlight. Okay? So back in 1938, Hitler's 5th year as Chancellor of Germany conducted an expedition to not only North Africa and India, but Hitler and his Nazis went to Antarctica as well. Okay, remember, Hitler was a Jew who was appointed to power by the Rothschilds. Okay, he was being used as a puppet. The Rothschilds sent Hitler and the Nazis out on voyages so they could take control of world resources. Hitler and his men stumbled upon many UFO sightings over Antarctica's surface and discover a massive hole, okay, through 2 miles of ice in Antarctica. The Nazis get equipped to go down the hole, and they discover a pathway into inner Earth. As the Nazis reach their destination, they are met by greys and reptilian humanoids in inner Earth, and many Nazi explorers were killed. Hitler notified the Rothschilds, and as we all know, the Rothschilds basically controlled the whole world, just like the Vatican. Okay, so when Hitler notified the Rothschilds of what was happening in Antarctica, the Rothschilds notified many other leaders and Freemasons around the world of what was discovered in Antarctica. Okay, they get together in a meeting and say, we have to keep the people of this world ignorant to the fact that there is an entrance to inner Earth in both North and South poles. This is why both areas are heavily restricted to this day. This is really going to blow your minds. Hitler's Nazis stumbled upon something else when they went to Antarctica. They came across 3 large pyramids, almost twice the size of the pyramids of Giza. Okay? They were twice the size of the pyramids in Egypt, and they were completely covered in ice. Also, when the Nazis journeyed down the holes, they stumbled upon the ruins of an ancient civilization that was more technologically advanced than Sumeria and Egypt. Okay? In the late 80s, a top secret government agency carbon dated the ice surrounding the pyramids in Antarctica and found those pyramids and that civilization are well over 52,000 years old. I'm going to repeat. The pyramids found in Antarctica and the underground civilization under Antarctica is over 52,000 years old. Okay? But wait a second. According to mainstream science, humans weren't fully evolved at that time. So the Jewish government says that aliens did it, okay, when it was really our melanated ancestors. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, the pyramids in Antarctica are 4 times older than the pyramids in Egypt. The pyramids in Antarctica are 4 times older than the ones in Egypt and are 2 times larger. Okay, that is amazing. That is astonishing, which suggests only one thing. The continent of Antarctica is none other, ladies and gentlemen, than the lost civilization of Atlantis. And after a great war broke out between humans, Anunnaki, and Draconians, there was a great pole shift on the earth, which caused Atlantis to suffer severe tidal waves and to be submerged underwater. Okay? Then when the pole shift was over, Atlantis, the continent of Atlantis was moved towards the bottom of the earth, which caused it to have the 2-mile deep ice sheet over the landmass. Okay? The lost city of Atlantis, where we got the first atlas. Okay? The word atlas comes from Atlantis because the individuals who were residing in Atlantis gave us our first form of navigation. And when you look at the word navigation, the prefix of navigation is navy. Navy means water, which means the first people who gave us the atlas and our first forms of navigation came from Atlantis and were travelers of the Navy, which is where you get navigation, which means they traveled through the water. They were water people. They were the nomos gods. They were water bearers. They were the seafarers. They were the original Moors that came from Mars. And M-A-R is marine, which gives you marine life, which tells you that the first individuals on this planet were amphibious, heavily melanated beings that created great structures, great pyramids, hieroglyphic writings, civilized the world, and created an electromagnetic field on both poles, okay, from energy sources on both poles of this planet. And the pyramids are conductors of those 2 poles. Okay? So like I said, we get the word navy, we get the word navigation from navy, which means the first forms of navigation were from water. Then we get the word atlas from Atlantis, which means that the first map and the first atlas, okay, the first forms of travel came from the individuals who were inhabiting Atlantis, okay, aka Lemuria, aka Mu, aka Ma, the original civilization on this planet. And it's in Antarctica. So the whole Atlantean conspiracy, the whole Atlantis conspiracy, our ancient ancestors' artifacts, our ancient ancestors' energy sources are at the bottom of the ice sheet of Antarctica, or they are in the archives of the Vatican right now as we speak. Okay? So after this lecture, I want everyone to go research Thuban, the star Thuban. That is very important. When the pyramids in Egypt were built, Thuban was our North Star. It was our magnetic North Star. It was not Polaris. Polaris was our North Star after the pyramids were built because of the pole shift. Okay? Go do your research, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? When we talk about Antarctica, we're talking about Atlantis. And don't you notice that all these UFO sightings always happen in areas that are uninhabited by people, like great deserts or great frozen wastelands? So the North Pole, the South Pole, and certain deserts are where our governments got together and are conducting top secret experiments and are establishing top secret military bases. Okay? That's not really rocket science. That's actually common sense. Okay? So yeah, if you do your research, climate change has been going on in this planet for a very long time, and it is not because of no goddamn global warming. It is because that the earth is moving, and when certain astrological objects go in between Earth and Mars, like Nibiru, okay, Nibiru is actually real because those Sumerian tablets are real, and I don't give a damn about the European scientist or philosopher who is trying to interpret the information. The key point is that the information and the tablets are still there, with the Sumerian knowledge still there, that every 13,000 years, Nibiru comes in between Earth and Mars and causes the pole shift, ladies and gentlemen. That's why there's so many underground military bases. That's why the government is stocking up on fresh water and buying up fresh water valves and buying up seeds and organic foods and survival material and weapons and ammunition, because they're getting ready to live underground when the pole shift happens, people. Like I just told you in the video, the only explanation for the Egyptian desert and the whole North African desert to go from tropical rainforest to wasteland desert is a pole shift, people. And we can't have a pole shift unless the earth is in motion. Period, point blank. It's time to start using your mind. It's time to start getting out of the doctrine of belief and start to get into the doctrine of knowledge. Knowing is always better than believing. But like I said, the blood moons hit in 2015. Certain people went back into caveman consciousness, and they went back under the doctrine of belief instead of the doctrine of knowledge, of knowing. You see what I'm saying? Our ancestors were knowledgeable. They had knowledge. So a lot of you people out there who are sucked into the matrix are going to perish for a lack of knowledge, not a lack of belief. Because everything I kick has to do with the knowledge that our ancestors were kicking. Okay? And it has to deal with common sense. Common sense, people. Okay? So like I said, if you research Atlantis, it matches up perfectly to the position that Antarctica is in now. Because there was a map of Antarctica that was out in the 1500s. I forgot the individual's name, but it showed Antarctica in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean, where you had Atlantis and you had the first atlases, the first atlas, okay? And the first navy that gave us the first form of navigation from the lost city, the lost civilization of Atlantis, and the pole shift caused it to be sunk under tidal waves, and it was at the it turned to the bottom of the earth, so it was away from the sunlight. So that's where you get the giant massive ice wall. Okay, and like I said, the pyramids there in Antarctica are 4 times as old as the pyramids in Egypt and are twice the size, ladies and gentlemen. So they basically reverse engineered the Nazi government reverse engineered our ancient ancestors' technology out of Atlantis in Antarctica, and are claiming that knowledge and claiming that technology for themselves and for their own ulterior motives and world domination purposes. Okay? So that's really about it that I had to say on the subject. Okay? The whole Atlantean conspiracy is right there down in Antarctica, people. Okay? It's time to wake up. It's time to do your research. Period, point blank. I appreciate everybody who supported RFG Clothing, RFG Movement, Atlantean Clothing. Man, I am on a great journey of enlightenment. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the master teachers that gave me the insight that I have today. And as far as, you know, these haters out here still talking that shit, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even want to bring this up, but, you know, I was right about the NBA Finals. The Golden State Warriors are going against the Cleveland Cavaliers, like I said. And these haters are getting on my case about me being wrong about the Spurs being in the conference finals. But that's okay, because, like I said, the name of that video is King James Ritual. And what I said is that the Cavaliers and the Warriors are going to be in the finals, and the Cavaliers are going to win. Plain and simple. And the Cavaliers are going to win in upset fashion, because everybody has their money on the Golden State Warriors right now. And they're going to lose. They're going to lose. Mark my words. LeBron James will look like a hero and will win in upset fashion in these finals. Okay? So read it and weep, haters. Read it and weep. Okay? So that means I was right about the Western Conference champion. I was right about the Eastern Conference champion. And I will be right about the NBA Finals champion. But these haters are mad because I said that the Spurs were going to be in the Western Conference Finals and they were never there. And that's not the three key points. The three key points of the video were that I stated the Golden State Warriors will win the West, the Cleveland Cavaliers will win the East, and LeBron James will look like a hero and get the ring. Period, point blank. Okay? So, like I said, man, stay tuned. There'll be a lot more videos coming in the future. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. As a chosen man, I'm out.